Okay, everybody. It was a great project of imaginary world. We use a concept of surrealism, how to create the imaginary space, imaginary world with the concept of linear and aerial perspective, which was discovered during the Renaissance. So I requested each student to create your own imaginary world, but also I did want you to pay attention to include the perspective. So let's start to talking about your own artwork individually. So talking about the title of the artwork and tell me what kind of imaginary world you created, and then what kind of linear and or aerial perspective you try to represent through the imaginary world, and anything else? For example, where the idea come from. Okay.
Okay, this one is mine. I called it a pizza heaven. My name's Heather, and I created a linear perspective.
This one.
This one, yeah, this one. And this idea came from, I drew a sun, and Masami said it wasn't unique enough. So Adriana said I should draw it into a pizza. So I did. And yeah, that's it.
That's good. So 1 point linear perspective. Okay, so this part area is on white table. Okay.
Hi, I'm Adriana. Mine's called Day and Night, and I did the linear perspective, and I decided to do this because I was sad that summer's ending, but I kind of can't wait for the cold weather to come, so yeah.
So she's day and night. Also, she did the summer and the winter. So it's kind of complicated space.
I'm Rayan. So I did this one. It's a linear perspective, and I called it addictions because I'm addicted to coffee. So in mine, I have my coffee cup holding me, because I can't really function without coffee. I'll be falling asleep in class. So me as a teacher, I'm gonna have coffee in my hand all the time, walking up to the school, and that's mine.
This is mine. I called it Ladder to Madness. I did linear perspective, and I adapted styles from Salvador Dali, and then I also took the theme of Alice in Wonderland and made the imaginary world basically a wonderland. So.
Mine, I call it Autumn in the Ocean. I tried to combine my two favorite things of my favorite time of the year and my favorite place, which is the beach. I use linear perspective, and my idea comes from the first day of fall coming on Friday.
Mine, and I called it Factory, and it's linear perspective, and the reason that I did it is because going into education, the educational system is always just spewing out kids that are all the same, and it shouldn't be like that, so I just represented the school being a factory with the crane coming down and putting a kid in the hallway.
Hi, mine is called Mermaid of the Caribbean. I tried to create a world where the sky is ocean and where we are is the sky. I tried to do 1 point perspective where it's closer up, it's darker, and then when it goes farther away it's lighter and it's tinier. And then I tried
Aerial perspective.
Aerial perspective, and I got the idea from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Upside down,
boat
yeah.
comes upside down.
Oh, that's good.
This is mine. I called it Sky Trucks, and I tried to create a linear perspective.
Trees are floating. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
And,
I got the idea from I remembered about a forest and how lonely it is and dark. So I cleared the sky so it can be more peaceful and light. Yeah.
It's beautiful walking away.
So mine's called The Last Road of Alexandria. Mine is a world, basically it's been ravaged by robots. So, and then this is the last road ever on this planet. So it's the last road ever. This was inspired, I was watching The Walking Dead, so that's what kind of inspired it. But instead of zombies, it's a giant robot.
Okay, that's good.
is my piece. It's called A World Where You Can Harness the Sun. I tried to create a world where anything is possible, basically, is the idea. I tried to use 1-point linear perspective with the point right here in the middle of the sun, and then aerial because the little planets are tinier than the big hands. It came from a creative discussion with my roommate. I was going to paint a globe, and then it turned into a sun with hands.
That's good. Very eye-catching one.
I called it Meadow, which is not very original, but I used linear perspective as a path that goes off into the end of the meadow, and my idea came from my passion about Native Americans and learning about that, and basically it's every time that I go to USW, which is quite often I'm lucky enough to go, you always feel like the presence of the Native Indians over there and the nature around you, which kind of sounds silly, but it's really important when you're there to understand who was there before you and why we have such a beautiful place.
Title is One World, Different Minds, and I try to do it through linear perspective, and I got inspired because of my psychology class. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
So this is my art piece. I call it Daydreaming. I really like hot air balloons and I like storms, so I tried to combine both of them, and I kind of pretended I was there trying to, in the middle of it, coming out of the clouds. I tried to use linear perspective with it going this way up here.
That's right. Small ones over there.
And
Really
then,
small.
Yeah, and I also tried to do the aerial perspective by putting more blue hues over here, but I...
Closer is bigger,
Yeah.
getting smaller. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Maybe
fun.
if you can make a huge, gigantic one.
Yeah,
Might be working a little bit more,
yeah.
but it's pretty good, beautiful, nice. Okay, good job.
Thank you.
Doors and unicorns, and I tried to create a world, different dimensions and worlds. I used a linear perspective, and
Very simple here. Yeah.
yeah, and I got my my idea from my childhood. I used to always draw unicorns and Pegasuses and horses and fantasy type of things. Anyway.
Looks like you have one topic for the entire project. Since we started to work on it. Good job.
Yeah, thanks.
So my name is Kristen. This is mine. The title is Peace Among Worlds, and the idea came from the show Rick and Morty. It's my favorite show.
Okay. This is very unique, space and realistic, tree and the nature, but upside down. And there you create, it looks like a comic, like too flat, facial expression. What about this one? This an alien or something?
It's actually from one of the shows. It's Peace Among Worlds. He creates a portal, and
Okay. So it's nice to combine the realistic 3-dimensional world, even though it's upside down, and the quite 2-dimensional flat images. So that's good job. Okay.